So continuing on with my Xbox One case, I just got 1x3s. I ripped them down to exactly 2 inches high, so it's 1x2. And then I also, excuse me, and I made the edges a little bit rounded so it fits in here perfect. After I finished the 1xs, I took the foam that was in the case, laid it over top of Lawan, and outlined it. Brought it down to the table saw and cut it. Next, I'm going to cut a hole in here for the screen. Cut a small hole here for the wires to pass through. I'm debating if I am going to cut a little extra notch here for the controls of the TV. I'm not sure yet. The reason I made the 1xs exactly 2 inches high is for a few reasons. One, builds up the base, and that way I can have my power supply. After I take off the rubber feet, it will sit flush with the board. So the power supply will be mounted down here. I will have a platform across, and the reason that is the Xbox sits on top. I'm also going to have some built-in fans with some toggle switches, and the toggle switches are going to allow me to, one, change from the TV built-in to an external TV, and the other toggle switch is going to allow me to do either headphone jacks or using the TV speakers. Alright, so I took another piece of Lawan, cut it out the same size as the bottom base, and there's my 1xs. The power adapter will be sitting underneath. This will then go and sit right on top, and that supports a base for the Xbox to sit on. I also marked out places for my games to sit, and the purpose of this is to allow 4 games to sit deep, 4 games deep this way, which will be underneath the Xbox One, and then 4 games to sit deep this direction underneath the Xbox One. Now these ones will be always hidden. These ones I'll be able to reach up and pull out even when the Xbox is in, and that also allows space right here for my controllers to sit. I'll have 2 Xbox controllers mounted here, and then I'm debating if I want to put my toggle switches right here, and then I will also have an opening for my fans right here. Once that is done, I think I'm also going to build another platform coming across and then down right at the beginning of where the Xbox will start, and the purpose of that is just to hide everything that you'll be able to take off, and it will also house some more switches possibly, or my fan duct. Alright, so I just finished screwing the box down to the framework. It sits in there beautifully. The power supply is already underneath the box, just testing the height of everything. So, the Xbox barely fits below the lip, but it does, as you can see. And then I also just set the TV in place for right now, just showing you that it does have a little bit of clearance, probably about a ½ inch clearance from the back of the TV to the edge. I will be lifting it up and setting it in. I also built my cover. It's not cut out yet, but I do have everything marked out. This is the outside of the TV itself. So I am going to come in that lip. I also might take the bezel off itself around the TV and mount it to the back of the board. I also do got the correct bolt holes, or I'm sorry, correct screws, machine screws. They are an M4 that fit through this, and that will mount the TV to the back. Got my HDMI. And I also got auxiliary sound headset, which is also what I'm going to be hooking up. But anyways, I might be excuse me. actually take off the whole back side of this and everything, I might relocate these buttons to the face so I can push it without reaching my fingers in. So here's the TV taken apart. I just finished. What I'm going to do is I'm going to mount this on the face of it. I'm going to remove the two speakers that are facing downwards, and I'm going to mount it onto the face of it so the speakers are facing you. And let's see what I'll do next. Painted it black, and then misted with metallic, and then clear coated. Dries. I'm going to take a fine grit sandpaper over it, and I'm going to cut out for the screen. Alright, so I'm about ready to drill the holes for the mount for the TV. What I did was I took tape, laid it across, marked, and then stuck a hole down through each one. Pulled the tape off, and that will give me my perfect alignment. Then I took a tape measure, measured from the outer edge of this slip to the outer edge of this slip. Found center. Took the tape, folded it in half, so I'd have it creased down the middle. And then I lined that crease up with the markings that I did. Okay. I also held up the TV, figured out how far I wanted to drop, did some quick measurements on how low it's going to sit. And came out that the center hole will be roughly in the center between these two lips here. So I laid the holes in the center along with my creased line in the center, and that will tell me I need to drill here, 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 and here. So I just mounted the TV to the wood, used epoxy the whole perimeter, and then I got the buttons installed on the face, and that is CA glued in place. Next comes the speakers. Got the button mounted, got the speakers mounted, got the TV mounted, and here in a second I'll show you what it looks like when it's flipped over. Before I do mount it permanently in the case, I am going to build risers on this side, and possibly on the bottom to keep it tight against the case itself, and then I'll run screws in to hold it in place as well. So here's the front side. It's already mounted, got the buttons in place, and all the buttons work. I did a sloppy job at my speaker grooves. They're not lined very consistently. I kind of rushed it. But I said, the hell with it. I'll probably make another one down the road. Everything is epoxied in place. Everything is mounted perfectly. I do have to clean up the paint a little bit. I'm going to probably wet sand it, polish it, maybe clear coat it a second time. But it's okay because, I mean, everything works. So I have a piece of tape on here that was so when I glued it, it didn't squeeze out. So next I'll mount it in temporarily, possibly power it on, and show you what it's like. Alright, so we're going to power it on. One thing that I did notice that I might do is drill a small hole here and here, that way I can use the remote and I can see the color change of the TV. That way I know when the TV turns on and when it turns off. When it's off, I believe it's red. When it's blue, it's on. But we'll power it on and see it come on. Of course, there's not going to be any sound, and we're not going to see anything because nothing's hooked up. So we're just checking to see if it comes on and everything works. Alright, so it does come on. Channel down works. We are Eastern. Tone energy. Are you sure? Yeah. it is. Alright, so here it is all set up, just temporarily, just to see and check everything working. First going to turn on the Xbox One, and then we're going to turn on the TV. Wipes the dust away. Turn on the TV. Try some volume. Volume down.
Choose your track. Choose your mode. Vector. Ready.
So that allows me to change my input. The menu. Of course, my channel up and down doesn't work because I don't have it set up. But my volume. Turn it down. That's my Xbox One traveling case. Just gotta assemble it and hide the wires and do the toggle switches, and I'm done.